You both went quiet. No dramatic goodbye, no final text, no closure, just silence. And here's the part no one warns you about. The silence does not feel equal. It feels like you are the one drowning in it while they have simply moved on. But what if I told you that what is actually happening on their side of that silence would completely change how you see this whole thing? Because the narcissist is not just sitting somewhere at peace. Something is happening to them in this silence, something they were never built to handle. And once you understand it, you will stop measuring your healing against their performance. If this channel has been helping you make sense of what you lived through, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We go deep here, and you deserve to know the full truth. Let's start with you, because your experience is the one that actually matters here. When you stop reaching out to a narcissist, the first thing you feel is not relief. It is something closer to withdrawal, and that word is not dramatic. It is neurologically accurate. Research on trauma bonding shows that unpredictable relationships, hot one day and cold the next, stimulate the brain's dopamine system the same way a slot machine does. You are not just attached to a person. Your nervous system was hooked on a cycle. So when the contact stops, your brain goes looking for its fix. You reread old messages. You rehearse conversations in your head. You catch yourself composing texts you never send. That is not weakness. That is biology. The bond was built on uncertainty, and uncertainty is one of the most chemically gripping states a human brain can be locked inside. But here's the thing. The pain you feel right now is not evidence that the relationship was right for you. It is evidence of how deeply your system adapted to survive it. There is a massive difference between those two things. Now here is where it gets interesting. When a narcissist goes silent, people tend to assume one of two things. Either they are completely unbothered, already with someone new, living their best life, or they are secretly shattered somewhere, missing you deeply. The truth is stranger than both. A narcissistic psychological structure is not built on inner peace. It is built on external supply, attention, reactions, emotional access, the knowledge that they occupy enormous space in someone else's mind. You fed that system whether you realized it or not. Your love fed it. Your hope fed it. Even your anger fed it. So in the early days of silence, some narcissists actually enjoy your absence because they can narrate it. They tell themselves, you are somewhere missing them, crushed, waiting. In that version of the story, they are still the main character. But then time passes and you do not come back. That is when something shifts. The silence stops feeling like a pause and starts feeling like something they cannot name. Irrelevance. And irrelevance is the one thing a narcissistic ego is structurally unable to digest. Not heartbreak, not rejection, irrelevance. Because if you are no longer orbiting them, no longer emotionally available, no longer waiting, they are suddenly forced to sit with a reality their entire personality was constructed to avoid. This is what psychologists call a narcissistic injury. It is not sadness, it is an ego wound, a crack in the identity they use to hold themselves together. So what do? They perform, they post more, they move suspiciously fast toward someone new, they rewrite history. Suddenly, you were the problem all along. But here is the line I want you to hold on to. Performance is not peace. People who have genuinely moved on do not need to advertise how unbothered they are. And while they are busy managing their image, something else is quietly happening inside you. Your nervous system, the one that spent months or years bracing for the next mood swing, the next silence, the next version of them, is slowly starting to recalibrate. It does not happen in a week. Some mornings still hit hard, but day by day, the reflex to check weakens. The fantasy starts losing its grip. Small moments of yourself start returning. A laugh that feels fully yours. A decision made without rehearsing how they would react to it. That is not a small thing. That is your identity coming back online. So wherever you are in this silence, grieving, second-guessing, slowly healing, I want to hear from you. What has surprised you most about the silence? What has been the hardest part, or maybe even the most unexpected gift? You are not alone in this. See you in the next one.